And we are live. Welcome everyone. This is your Sisters in Slippers coming to you today, giving you MLM truths sugar free, part of our Blitz bash that we've been doing. So I'm going to make a quick disclaimer that if you are someone who has their feelings hurt easily, or don't want any soul crushing to happen, stop watching us right now, because we're just going to give it to you real, give it to you raw, our perspectives on today's topic, which is called a Wantrepreneur. Have you ever heard that term? I just recently learned about this one, and I'm going to toss it over there to my business partner. Oh my gosh, what's happening today? Business partner, Miss Alicia. You there? Can you hear me?
Yes, I got you. Alicia Hankins here. Hello. Yeah, Wantrepreneur. I think I really wanted it to say wishpreneur. I like the wishpreneur part, but when we actually looked it up, we were like, wow, well, we didn't think of it first. We thought we were being so smart thinking it up, but we didn't actually make it up. We kind of, it's already been coined. It's out there. And Wantrepreneur, wishpreneur. I think there was one other word too there when I looked it up. I don't remember the other one because, we weren't interested in it, so I didn't include it. But we had a good laugh over it because Wantrepreneur is we know what an entrepreneur is. So are you a Wantrepreneur or an entrepreneur? So, the entrepreneur mindset, of course, is, you're in it, you're going to do business. You get to doing the do, you do the thing, you make it happen, right? So what's this like Wantrepreneur thing? What is that?
Okay, I'm trying to load this up right now. I want to see, because there is actually a dictionary meaning to this word. So I mean, my internet's kind of loading right now, but what I've gathered from this Wantrepreneur is someone who, of course, wants to be an entrepreneur, who says that they X, Y, and Z. I've seen this happen a lot, in the industry. People who want things to happen say that I got to do this, I got to do this, I got to get back on track. I've had this, that, and the other thing going on, and I just found myself in a funk, in a whatever it may be, but never really getting it done. And I always try to be that person who says whatever I say I'm going to do, that I actually do it, because I mean, number one, it just builds up your word. People will either believe you or not believe you when you say things that you're going to do, because if you are someone who does it, then great. I'm going to follow you. I'm going to listen to you. You have credibility. You get things done. I'm going to, do what you do. But on the flip side, if you don't, I see even, family members, people who say I'm going to do this and that tomorrow and never get it done. When I hear somebody say something again that I'm going to get this done, I really don't believe them. Sounds a little hard. Sorry, it's just,
It's the boy who cried wolf, right? Kind of the same story. You're just going to say you did it and nothing happened. So after a while, you're just like, yeah, well, they said it, but nothing's going to happen. So, so maybe that's the difference. My Wantrepreneur, in my mind, I've had a lot of people in different organizations that I've been in say they wish. So maybe that's my Wishtrepreneur point of view for it. It's the same thing. So they wish that they could be this XYZ thing. They wish they could be the six-figure earner. They want, same thing, right? They want to be the six-figure earner, but I don't want to do any work. Or I want to make $500 a month, but I don't want to call anybody. I want to, as if the $500 is going to land in your lap, right? Like, you don't want to make any phone calls. Sure. Okay, great. I want to be the highest volume salesperson and be on the leaderboard this month, but I'm not going to put any work out into it. I don't want to spend I don't have time. I don't have time today. I don't have time tomorrow. I got to go do this, that, and the other thing because I don't have half an hour to spend on something. Is that where we're looking at? I want the goodies and I want the recognition. I want the next pin. I want to win the trip. But that's as far as it goes. Yeah? Just wanting it.
Right. You gotta take the steps. Take the steps to get there. All of these successful people in the company actually work. They, run their business. That's what an entrepreneur is, someone who starts and runs a business. And you have to take steps to do that, to get there. It's not going to come to you. People say, yes, timing is everything. If you get a really good position, that's great, but there still is work involved. There's still skills that need to be learned. If you want to be that person who's recognized, that person who everyone looks up to, I mean, you really have to become that type of person to attract those types of people who are gonna work for you, right? I mean, this industry is amazing because it really takes just a few key people to make it, to be successful. But
I've started saying do the do. They have to do the do, whatever the do is. Do the thing, whatever it is. Do the thing. Right. Get up and do the thing, whatever the thing is. We could insert whatever into there. Just do it. I had a thought there while you were talking. See, like my brain just sent it somewhere. Oh, wait, there it is. It's coming back. Shucks.
I just threw the coop.
Oh man, it's right there. I'm sad now. Yeah. Yes. So entrepreneurs. Okay, so in this industry too, because we have people who get in, and granted, I gotta applaud them because they're like first-time mommies that want to stay home with their kids that would love to earn an income and not go back to work. There are people who have never. They find themselves in a hard place and they need to make money now. They need to get in. So they get into MLM, they get into network marketing. They get into affiliate marketing too. They need to make money. They maybe never ever had a business. Truly, people have never had a business. They come as being a worker to a company. You go in, you punch in, you collect money. Okay, that's what everybody does, right? Punch a clock and you get paid. So a lot of times, though, there's this idea that I don't want to do sales, or I don't want to do marketing, or I don't want to continue doing this. It's like this ongoing process, and it's very interesting because I've come across with all the different things they've been reading and being exposed to. You get exposed to things as you're ready for them. So what I've seen over and over again too is that people who are very successful in this industry have said this marketing part, you have to learn to love it. You have to learn to love this. And it doesn't have to be a struggle. It's just part of the system. You have to learn to love getting up, exposing, which is called marketing, exposing, getting eyeballs on the content that you have out there. And then get used to the yes and no's and just roll with it, because this is the process. It never ends. The process really never ends. So you better love the process and have some fun with the process. Find fun ways of what works for you to get it out there as an entrepreneur. If you excel at making a comic strip and that's the way you're going to get your thing out there, make a comic strip. If you excel at video, and then get on a video and get out there and do it. If you excel at copyright, get out there and do the copy. If you excel at writing letters, get out there and write your letter. So it never ends, though. We've had people who, I've had people say, well, how many more times do I have to do this? Well, as many times as you'd like to still be making some money. Would be a good answer, right? So sometimes part of that Wantrepreneur is you want the money, you want the continued residual income, but you also at the same time would like to want to not be doing this process. And maybe this isn't for you because it's part of the deal. It's part of the deal. You just eventually, you're not doing as much of it and you're still making money. But if you you're just not doing as much of it, but you still have to do some of it, you have to do something. Yeah.
You have to do something. You have to, Wantrepreneur, you have to want to not live paycheck to paycheck anymore. You have to want to not have to worry about how you're going to pay for your bills, the electric bill, your water bill, your car payments, right? If your car breaks down, you don't want to have to worry anymore about, oh my gosh, how am I going to pay to get this fixed? I need my car to get to work. I need my car to help me make money in this industry, right? You just have to want those things more than any excuse, any negative feedback, anything that comes your way, because things will come your way in this industry, and you just have to want to not experience those things anymore. Because I've seen people who straight out of the gate, like Alicia just mentioned, right? They're stay-at-home moms. They needed something to work, and they needed it to work now. So they wanted it more than anything else. It had to work. They made it work. No experience. They just did the do, found what works for them, that allow them to bring in money right away, and they got it done. And they're, hugely successful. I've seen 6-figure earners, 7-figure earners do that because they no longer want to live paycheck to paycheck. They don't want the worry of finances hanging over their head day after day after day.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right? And working on making more money than you can spend. Yes. And in this industry, this is what you can do: make more money than you can spend. And in other industries, other companies, you work for someplace, you can definitely cap. That glass ceiling is there. Ceiling is there, but there's no ceiling, and we've seen it. We've seen it so many times, and it is nice to. It's nice to sit around and want it and wish for it. You want to be a wishpreneur. That's a great place to start. But you got to get that wheel going. You got to get that action in there. You got to do the thing, find the thing, and get it done. And once you start getting it done is when then you can just go and get stuff. You go and get this. You go and get that. And I want to put a tiny bit in here because I know, we're talking about wants and needs. And I did hear in our primary company, I know I've heard this in calls, that one of the biggest things that one of the bigger earners had discovered was not necessarily even all about things. So I'm going to throw that out there. It's not necessarily all about things. There's a freedom that comes with this financial security, because he had a family member who was sick, right, and then went into the hospital. And when they faced this hospital issue, they came back and said, well, it was going to cost so many tens of thousands of dollars. And that was when he really realized that really was the freedom, bottom line freedom of it. He realized how free he really was because he said, go for it, do it, because he had it in cash to do it. And, we talk about car payments, we talk about house payments and these kind of things that would really free up people's lives. But think about that for a minute, that, if you had a loved one that needed to have this particular thing done and it costs, tens of thousands of dollars and you don't have the money for that, the reality does set in that they don't necessarily have to do it. That they don't have to follow that procedure, whatever it is. You could just live with whatever it is, or, insurance doesn't cover you, don't have insurance, whatever, we're not going to do it. End of story. Or they could do it in, I guess you could go into legal battles. So he was really, he found that he was very blessed and found that was really what financial freedom was about. Yeah. That he could pay that thing and have the security to say, yep, just do it, because he had it in cash. No big deal.
I've heard a story similar to that. If your child, for example, I think this is the way that I read it. If your child was sick and, they were on their deathbed, and there was a thing that they could do, that the doctors could do to save your child's life, but it costs you $100,000. You don't have $100,000. Your medical's not going to cover this. So you, as that parent, would do anything to make sure that you made that money, because your child is priceless to you. There is no way that you're not going to give up without a fight to make sure that your child survives, right? So it's the same kind of concept here. Don't want to live in the struggle anymore. Well, then you have to take the steps to make sure that it happens, because it's not an option for you to not be successful in this industry. You know, you want it to work. So go ahead and do everything that you can to make it work, especially when you see it from that perspective. You know, that's not an option. It's not even a question. I'm going to do what I have to do to make sure that my child will still be here. And that's exactly how, you know, this industry, that's what it can serve for you.
That's big. That's really big. And there's no other place that we can get that. There's no other place you can get that, because if you don't, unless you're doing investments, I guess, but even investments, you know, you got to have money to do the investment first.
Right, exactly. That's another beauty of the industry is it's a very minimal startup, minimal overhead, but I mean maximum amount of income potential because there is work that needs to be done. So
not just wanting. Get up, do the thing. Get in touch with us down there. So leave some comments. We've got some feedback already. That's pretty interesting. New format, you know, check it out. Like I said, not for the faint-hearted, I guess. So you either love us or hate us. So we hope you love us. We'll be back.